Hello, this is Section Bernard. If we go about our business as usual, go to school or work and then come home, all may seem to be well without a hint of death. Here in the US, we do have funeral homes, and occasionally we may meet with a procession with the hearse leading a group of cars on the highway toward the cemetery. And in Singapore, where I am from, we may see a wake by a void deck at a block of flat. If it is a Buddhist death, there may be chanting and clanging and blaring of musical instruments. Occasionally, there may be wailing, which makes one wonder if it be from a professional mourner. Well, why do I talk about death? Shakespeare's Julius Caesar said, "Death, a necessary end, will come when it will come." It is an inevitable fact of life. This past week was at a funeral in a Catholic church here in San Antonio, Texas, for a 31-year-old young lady who passed away suddenly in the hospital from complications related to lupus. The service was in Burmese and the tone was somber. There were hymns and liturgy raising the prayers to God. What caught my attention was the show of support from those who were present, a large gathering of mostly young people in black colored suits, dress or regular clothes. There were about 400 present. I did not expect this large turnout for a common person. Most of those present were Buddhists. They came from far and wide. Folks came to mourn with the family and relatives. It was very moving. You know, most people do not like to talk about death. They feel uncomfortable. But even animals have a sense of death, and they show it. There is a story about a herd of elephants that was saved by a conservationist, Lawrence Anthony, and was placed in a wildlife conservation in South Africa. Years later, when Lawrence died, the elephants trekked 12 hours from the wild to his home and stood together, making low rumbling noise. They stood there like that for 2 days, showing their respect for the one who saved them. And then they returned to where they came from after 2 days. How can we take the morbidity of death away? If only we can see the spirit side, right, before we die. And once we have a view of this other side, it makes for perfect knowledge of what to expect. But then there is no longer any mystery. So it would be a wonderful way to take away the fear of death. But this is typically not possible. However, there are people who are given visions of the spirit world. And there are also those who have survived near death. These people have shared their experience. In the Gospel of Luke, chapter 16, it is said that when the rich man who died and asked Abraham to send Lazarus to return to tell his brothers that there is a hell, he was denied this request because Abraham said that for those who do not believe, their hearts will stay hardened no matter who comes from the spirit world to talk with them. From our observations of the behavior of men and animals, there seems to be a common understanding of life beyond their mourning. The rituals performed suggest that there is a plea to the spirit world to have compassion on the deceased. This is why every day millions are offering their prayers or rituals to God for a hand to bring the deceased, or when we die, for us to go to paradise, because we do not want to go to a place of suffering. Assuringly, in the Gospel of John, in chapter 10, Yeshua, the Son of God, has promised eternal life to those who follow him. And when we believe, it is with great faith that we dare to say, "O death, where is your sting?" God bless.